Hello and welcome to FYI Weekly, your official source for the latest news and information from the city of Greensboro. The Greensboro Fire Department received its agency accreditation status at the annual Fire Rescue International Conference. This marks the fifth consecutive year the fire department received this honor, dating back to 1997. Greensboro is one of only two fire departments in the nation to receive the Center for Public Safety Excellence Accreditation, or CPSE status, 5 consecutive times. CPSE provides the only accreditation program for fire service organizations in the world and offers nationally recognized designations for fire and emergency services officers. CPSE has more than 230 accredited agencies and more than 1,800 designated officers throughout the world. Members of the Greensboro Fire Department, including Fire Chief Bobby Nugent, sat before the Commission Board in Charlotte to answer questions about the continuous improvement plans for the fire department. Accreditation is a comprehensive self-assessment and quality improvement model that enables organizations to examine past, current, and future service levels and internal performance and compare them to current research and industry best practices. This process leads to a more efficient and effective emergency service organization. This year marks the 8th One City, One Book, which is a community-wide initiative encouraging everyone to read the same book. The 2017 kickoff event is scheduled for August 26th. After a thoughtful selection process, which included public voting for the first time, Hidden Figures by Margaret Lee Shetterly has been selected as the 2017 One City, One Book. The book, which was also an Oscar-nominated hit movie, is the incredible untold story of 3 African-American women working at NASA who served as the mathematical brains behind the successful launch of America's first astronaut into orbit, John Glenn. With several Greensboro connections, Hidden Figures is expected to generate a lot of interest in the library's community read. Many of the women recruited for the Space Task Force group came from Women's College, which is now UNCG. Author Margaret Lee Shetterly recently delivered a UNCG commencement speech. Mathematician and physicist Katherine Johnson's daughter, Catherine Moore, is a Bennett College alumna and Greensboro resident who now enjoys sharing her mother's inspirational story. Other planned events include memoir writing workshops, panel discussions on women in science, programs on the space race, and films and music of the era. To learn more about the exciting programs and resources at the Greensboro Public Library, visit greensborolibrary.org. This month, contemporary artist Dawes will be in Greensboro to paint 2 large-scale murals on the north and south walls of the Belmead parking deck located at 220 North Green Street. The city will host a free block party for residents who want to watch Dawes complete the murals. The party will take place from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursday, August 17th on Belmead Street between Elm and Green Streets. The event will feature live music, street art, and food trucks. The 80-foot-tall murals were one of the participatory budgeting Cycle 1 projects approved by District 3 residents. The city solicited mural artists to submit designs. Dawes' work was chosen by a selection committee. The goal is to introduce art that is accessible to the community. Dawes is known for his colorful geometric paintings and murals. His work can be seen in cities across the globe from St. Pete, Florida to Shanghai, China. Pedestrians should avoid the area near the parking deck. Portions of the sidewalk will be closed while the murals are being painted. In an effort to help our employees and residents improve their quality of life, the city has partnered with Cone Health for a series of brief and informative videos we're sharing in hopes of inspiring you to get fit and stay fit. Let's check in with our friends at Cone Health for today's News for Your Health.
Hello. Are you having trouble sleeping? I'm Dr. Clint Young, Medical Director of the Cone Health Sleep Disorder Center. Today we're going to talk about some important ways to help you get a better night's rest. Most people sleep best if they get 6 or 8 hours of regular sleep every night. The best bedrooms are quiet, cool, dark, comfortable, and safe. That means if you have a mattress that hurts your back, maybe it's time to change it. Cool means a couple of degrees at least cooler than your daytime temperature, not cold. But it can help a lot to have a layered set of blankets rather than one heavy comforter that is all or nothing. If you're feeling a little too warm, try sticking a foot out from under the cover. Just something to shed a little body heat can make a big difference. Keep the bedroom a safe, neutral place. Don't have your arguments there. Don't worry about finances and family relationships in the bedroom. And get rid of the electronics. TVs, laptops, tablets, cell phones have bright screens that make the brain think that it's daytime. The pings of alerts all night long will not help you sleep, and you do better if you get rid of those. The habit of going to bed at a regular time is a learned habit to some extent. If you're too casual about when you get up and when you go to bed, your brain starts having more trouble figuring out what's bedtime. So get regular about it. It doesn't have to be rigid, but if you have a consistent bedtime, you'll do better. As you get ready for bedtime, we try to help people calm down, quiet down. It can help to do something easy and distracting. Reading quietly, doing puzzles can be better than doing something that's really engaging, like work from the office or playing an active video game that is stimulating. Try to get your exercise in earlier in the day. It's hard to get your body temperature back down again if you exercise too close to bed. We like people to eat and drink an hour or more before bedtime. It makes you more comfortable. It cuts down having to get up at night to go to the bathroom. It can reduce reflux problems at night. Just think in terms of settling down, quieting down, finishing up the day so that you can go on to bed. Everybody has trouble sleeping sometimes. Trouble going to sleep in the first place, trouble waking up before you're ready to. We call those the insomnias. And again, that's normal unless it happens over and over again or begins to disturb the quality of your life. It helps to calm down, to quiet down, relax, just drift, think about things that you want to think about, and don't try to solve life's problems while you're lying in bed. If sleep just won't come, then you may be better off getting up, going and doing something quiet and comfortable for a little while until you're ready to try again. That's better than lying there fretting about it. There's a place for sleep medicines. There's a big market for them, and lots of people trying to sell them. Just remember that sleep medicines are tools, they're not the solution. If you're really having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, then we can help you understand more deeply what's going on and maybe fix the underlying problem. Everybody has problems sleeping sometimes. It doesn't need to be a consuming issue for you, and it doesn't need to be something that you frighten about every night as you get ready to go to bed. Hope you sleep well.
The bus tracking app introduced by GTA is gaining a huge following. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. In the year since being introduced to bus riders citywide, more than 12,000 residents and visitors have used GTA's Translocator app to track real-time information about Greensboro Transit Authority and higher education area transit buses. Transloc uses GPS transmitters installed on each bus to identify where city buses are moving at any given time. Through the free iPhone, Android app, or GTA Transloc website, riders can instantly obtain an estimate of arrival times at nearly 1,100 GTA and HEAT bus stops. The mobile app also allows riders to set an alert for when the bus is 15, 10, or even 5 minutes away from a stop. An announcements option allows important transit information to be shared with the user, and the feedback link ensures suggestions, comments, and complaints are received. Transloc has been accessed with more than 750,000 individual sessions in the past year. The numbers of individual sessions and users are expected to climb as more people ride the bus for regular service and special events such as the upcoming National Folk Festival. For more information about Translocator or to download the free app, visit the GTA webpage on the city's website. Time is running out for those who want to submit items for the Greensboro Police Department's time capsule, which will be opened 100 years from now. The capsule will be buried on September 28th in a ceremony that coincides with the grand reopening of police headquarters. This will mark the relocation of the police chief's suite from the Melvin Municipal Office Building to the 5th floor of 100 Police Plaza. GPD is asking for memorabilia that reflects the current climate of police and community relations. Items may include art, photos, letters, essays, poems, or songs. To date, GPD has received more than 24 items from school kids. Objects from other members of the community are needed to provide a broad view of today's policing efforts. Items must be received by August 31st. A second capsule containing objects chosen by GPD employees will be buried alongside the capsule containing items submitted by the public. These items include a body-worn camera, badge, patch, photos, CSI items, and a letter from Chief Scott to the Chief of Police who will be serving in 2117. A committee of police employees and community members will evaluate each item to determine if it will go in the capsule or be placed on display. Contributors of the artifacts selected for the capsule will be invited to the burial ceremony. The time capsule will be registered with the International Time Capsule Society. The Called Clue Organic Outreach Garden presents Preserving the Harvest, an interactive tasting demonstration on how to dehydrate, pickle, and ferment your summer garden haul. The class will take place from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on August 8th at Called Clue Multicultural Art Center, located at 1700 Orchard Street. A donation of $5 is suggested. Space is limited. Call 336-373-2974 to register. Todd Fisher from the Parks and Recreation Cities Arts Division will teach the class with produce from the Organic Outreach Garden. Donations will help City Arts provide quality educational classes throughout the year. In an effort to spotlight and celebrate the entrepreneurs, the artists, community builders, and essentially the next generation of leaders, the City of Greensboro is proud to partner with Action Greensboro to introduce our Made in Greensboro series. This day, we place the spotlight on small business owner Christina Brown. Christina Brown has always been interested in art. She took pottery classes when she was younger, then started making beaded jewelry and got interested in raku beads. She also sold pottery, jewelry, and more at Just Be, a quirky boutique in downtown Greensboro, before selling the shop after 6 years. That's when Christina returned to UNC Greensboro to pursue her passion for pottery. Now, Christina focuses solely on pottery. In November 2016, she opened a brick-and-mortar shop, Moonbird Pottery, on Spring Garden Street, right next to Spring Garden Bakery, a shop she and her husband Tim have previously owned. You can find Christina's pieces not only at her shop on Spring Garden, but in galleries throughout the U.S. West Elm Furniture has contacted Christina to be a local artist at its Greensboro location in the Friendly Shopping Center. Of course, you can also purchase Moonbird Pottery on its online shop. Orders are currently shipping out across the country. Christina says Greensboro really supports the arts and local artists. She loves the process of creating art and being connected with people. In her words, that's what art is all about. To learn more about Made in Greensboro or to see more images taken by photographers Jerry Walford and Scott Mothersbaugh, visit the Action Greensboro website at madeingso.com. The Parks and Recreation Special Events Office is accepting applications from vendors who want to participate in the 2017 North Carolina A&T Aggie Fan Fest. The deadline to submit an application is 5:00 p.m. on September 15th. The vendor application is available online. Aggie Fan Fest will take place October 6th through October 8th at War Memorial Stadium, located at 510 Yanceyville Street. Fan Fest is the largest city-managed special event, entertaining more than 50,000 people during North Carolina A&T State University's homecoming weekend. This year, the festival producers have added more family-friendly entertainment to be featured in the festival area, in addition to musical acts and a visit from the A&T Marching Band. The event will feature more than 100 vendors selling art, clothing, crafts, and food. For more information, visit the special events website or the City Arts and Events Office at the Greensboro Cultural Center located at 200 North Davie Street. Coming up after the break, we will speak with our Director of Water Resources, who'll tell us a little bit about a water chemical that surfaced in our water supply. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The Greensboro Water Resources Department has been in the news recently to answer questions about a chemical substance in our water system that is not regulated by the EPA and has been closely monitored by the city. Joining me now to explain how this chemical poses no immediate harm to the public is Steve Drew. He is the director of the Water Resources Department. Hello, Steve. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Carla.
So tell me about the chemical substance as far as what it is and when did it surface?
Well, this chemical is perfluorooctane sulfonate, and we'll say PFOS for short. And so it's part of a family of man-made organic compounds, and one of about 30 compounds that the EPA requires public utilities like Greensboro's to sample for. And it falls underneath the Safe Drinking Water Act unregulated contaminant monitoring rule. So these unregulated contaminants are sort of like they're compounds of interest. So it's sort of an early warning collection system that we do every 5 years. And so every 5 years there'll be another 30 or 40 compounds. So PFOS in particular is a man-made compound that's a release agent. And it's oftentimes found in the food we eat, for example, microwave popcorn, so that the popcorn doesn't stick inside of the bag. It's found in industrial uses as a release agent for injection molding, and sometimes it's found in firefighting foams.
Okay, and when did this surface in our water?
So the unregulated contaminating rule third round, which was in 2014, revealed that we had 3/4 above the reporting detection limit, which is 40 nanograms per liter. That's 40 parts per trillion. Think of a part per trillion as this: one drop of water in 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
Okay, very minuscule. Okay, and why isn't this regulated? I mean, it seems like a very common occurrence for all the examples you listed.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not regulated yet because this is part of the process. So it is known to have health effects, and sometimes these things can be carcinogenic. But our regulators and clinical research folks are still trying to figure out, you know, what the long-term health effects are. So they will set health advisories, and then they'll tweak them and change them. But at some point, they have to have enough data to collect to determine if they're going to regulate the compound, and then give utilities enough notice and time to decide if they can find it, and if they can't find it, then how would they remove it in the treatment plant. So sometimes even the technology does not yet exist to remove it. So they understand that, and the rule promulgation process allows for that. So it can be several years before EPA decides what limit they would set for us for removal.
Okay, so you have been monitoring this well in advance of anything that has popped up in other communities recently. What measures does the Water Resources Department take to actually monitor these levels?
Sure. So even though we're under no obligation or under any requests from our regulatory bodies to monitor, because we hit one notification limit back in 2014 and haven't had any notification limit since, and certainly not any health advisory, nevertheless, we understand that this compound is in our watershed. And so in the Water Resources Department, we have a culture of investigation and research, and we care about a substance that should not be in our source water and arriving at our intake. So in 2015, we contracted with a company to provide an engineering consultant, research scientist for us to help in this endeavor. And he also partnered with a research scientist who's well known not only in the state but nationally at NC State. So the two of them now, since mid-2015, have been working on sampling and collecting analytical data upstream in our watershed to see if they can find out where it would be originating from.
Okay, and overall we have a very stellar, impressive water supply, water service delivery. How do we rate compared to other cities in North Carolina?
Yeah. Well, as I said, Greensboro has a culture of doing great research. We have some of the best professionals in the industry. working in the city of Greensboro, we always meet and exceed the water quality standards, and Greensboro's water system always finds itself partnering with other water systems or universities or research agencies to kind of get on the cutting edge of technology and understanding what these compounds are.
Okay, well, thank you, Steve Drew. Thank you for stopping by, letting us know that our water system is safe, that this chemical poses no threat, and we appreciate all that you and your team does to keep our water safe every day.
All right, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, come back and see us. Stay tuned for a little known fact about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. One way to stay informed about what's happening in the city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings. The Greensboro City Council meetings are open to the public and air live right here on the Greensboro Television Network. Regular meetings take place at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesdays of the month in the council chambers on level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. To review the council meeting schedule, please visit greensboro-nc.gov/council meetings. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. If you want to request a city service for things such as pothole repairs, graffiti removal, damaged street signs, abandoned vehicles, and overgrown lots, you can simply do it from your smartphone, tablet, or desktop computer by using the city's Greensboro Fix It app. You also have the option to attach a photo or video clip with each service request to help better illustrate the problem. City staff will respond to requests during regular business hours. If a report comes in after hours or over the weekend or on a holiday, it will be answered the next business day. It's important to note the Greensboro Fix It app is not to be used for emergencies. In an emergency, always remember to dial 911. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our City Department Spotlight. Stay with us.
Hey, this is Jody. This weekend, power down your mobile device and enjoy some old-fashioned fun. This Friday, the Smith Senior Center is hosting their popular Summertime Pie Contest starting at 1 p.m. Pies will be judged on creativity, presentation, and taste. Not a baker? They also need tasters to choose a winner. For more information, call 336-373-7564. Parents, if you're concerned your children are getting too much screen time, bring them to Central Library at 10 a.m. on Saturday for Lego Club. Here's an opportunity for your kids to construct to their heart's content with Legos, Lincoln Logs, and Fiddlesticks. For more information on this and other library-sponsored events, go to greensborolibrary.org. Speaking of the library, why should kids have all the fun? This year, the library presents a summer reading program for adults. The theme is to build a better world. Join in for entertaining programs and book discussions throughout the library system. For more details on the adult summer reading program, go to greensborolibrary.org. Here's an event for the mind, body, and soul. City Arts, in partnership with Soulflower Yoga, will offer a yoga series from 2 to 3 p.m. every Sunday in August at the Colclew Multicultural Arts Center, 1700 Orchard Street. This yoga class is appropriate for beginners through advanced practitioners. Participants are asked to bring a yoga mat to class. Check out greensboro-nc.gov for more details. End your technology-free weekend on a high note with music for a Sunday evening in the park or MUSEP concert series. This Sunday, the concert takes place at Lindley Park, located on Starmount Drive at West Market and Wendover Avenue. Enjoy the Greensboro Concert Band starting at 6:30 p.m. Go to greensboro-nc.gov/MUSEP for a complete list of summer concert series performances. Keep watching FYI Weekly right here on GTN to find out more about events happening on the town.
The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Guilford Metro 911 is a consolidated public safety answering point serving Greensboro and Guilford County. This is the first point of contact for the community to reach public safety emergency responders 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when they dial 911. Guilford Metro 911 is organized into 4 divisions: administration, emergency communications, technical services, and support services. There are 130 employees who are responsible for call intake and dispatch. They serve agencies such as the Greensboro Police, Greensboro Fire Department, Guilford County Emergency Medical Services, Piedmont Triad Ambulance and Rescue, Guilford County Sheriff's Office, and each of the Guilford County Fire Districts. Thank you to Guilford Metro 911 and all of our first responders for all you do to help us during an emergency. On the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO segment. The first Friday event in August set the backdrop for the community to celebrate the citywide expansion of the Lime Bike Share program. Residents had an opportunity to see the bikes lined up along East Elm Street. The Greensboro City Council approved a 2-year agreement allowing Lime Bike to operate within the city limits. Anyone can use the Lime Bike app to locate and rent a bicycle for $1 per half hour. Lime Bike is already offered on the UNCG campus for 50 cents per half hour for students, faculty, and staff. Over the next 2 months, Lime Bike will deliver more than 800 3-speed bikes to be used at UNCG, North Carolina A&T State University, and in downtown Greensboro. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.